You need the intelligence to do the job. Unfortunately, I think Joe Biden had some of those, political gifts, shall we say, and not really gifts, because I don't, how do I say this? I don't find him tremendously likable, but he smiles a lot and he seems to like the crowd, et cetera. I mean, he kind of at least gets to first base on the political front. And you look through both parties historically, the ones that have done the best, and especially in the era of television, well, they're people that like people. I mean, Reagan, great example. Even Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton liked people, sometimes a little too much, especially on the ladies. But the point is they liked people. Obama, if he didn't like people, he was a heck of an actor. And even Bush Sr., I'll tell you a quick story. I remember Bush Sr., shortly before he died, my family and I were visiting Kennebunkport, where I had actually grown up during the summer, but I had never had the opportunity to meet him. And somehow a friend connected us and I got to meet him. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, like he's really up there in age and he's willing to entertain me and my family and talk to us. Why? Because he likes people. All right. So that's like the number one requirement. You can't be likable if you actually don't like other people. Ron DeSantis, this is going to be a big issue in your career. This is one of the reasons why Vivek Ramaswamy is climbing and climbing and climbing. He's actually in New Hampshire, spending a lot of time in New Hampshire. Smart thing to do. All right. As I said, you are not just likable, right? Hopefully you get some intelligence. I think, Biden kind of maybe gets there on the likability for some people, but the intelligence factor, forget about it. I mean, like really and truly forget about it. He's not that bright. And this is what's scary because we are going into challenging times. This is what's scary because I sure as heck hope America's not for sale to the highest bidder, to whatever country is willing to shell out a few $1,000,000 for your kids, new toys, literally, in the case of Hunter. So that's alarming. You need somebody who's smarter than that. And you need somebody who understands economics because we're looking at a really difficult picture. I still believe right now, hey, I like seeing economic strength. And this is not a partisan thing. We just need it. We have to have it. There's no way forward if we don't continue to grow our economy, but we need to do it without all the inflation that we're seeing. And the inflation is still high. We saw that in the latest data that just came out. Inflation still moving up. And so all in all, if you really look at it sort of on an apples to apples basis, you're looking at an increase of roughly 16%, right? 16% since Joe Biden came to office in prices, consumer prices. That's too much for people. And now we're dealing with higher and higher mortgage rates. That's too much for people because if you need to sell your home or if your mortgage rate resets, you're going to have so much more that you have to pay. And your home's not going to be worth as much. Right? It stands to speak because people are not going to be able to borrow as much in order to buy that home. So we've got some real economic challenges. It's one of the reasons why, I'm glad to have LegacyPMinvestments.com as one of our sponsors, 1-866-589-0560. If you're looking to diversify your portfolio, perhaps into gold or silver, perhaps because you're worried about some of the things that I just mentioned, you should definitely give these guys a ring. They are good friends of mine. Actually, Charles is going to be on the show next week, the CEO of the company, and he'll talk a little bit more about this. But he has his worries about, obviously, the long-term fundamentals of this country and its economic picture, as well as just some short-term concerns as well. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.